Now, one of the most common questions I get from parents is, what is my child thinking? Despite the view that most estrangements occur because the parent was really a terrible parent, my experience as a psychologist is that a lot of parents actually had very close relationships with their adult children prior to the estrangement. Clearly some didn't, but from the parents' perspective, they were actually very close prior to the estrangement. So what are these adult children thinking? Well, first of all, let me say that there's no one-size-fits-all recommendation that therapists should make for parents who are trying to reconcile with their adult child, in part because there are many different reasons why somebody would estrange themselves. In the same way that somebody wouldn't divorce for just, it's not only one reason why somebody would get divorced. The same is true for estrangement. So I want to go over briefly some of the most common causes. One is certainly, just to start, is because the child felt abused, neglected, harmed, etc. By the parent, or the parent was too critical of them in terms of their gender identity or their sexuality or their political beliefs. Increasingly today, political beliefs is an issue. Another reason, though, might be that the adult child doesn't know any other way to feel separate from the parent. This sometimes happens in homes where the adult child was particularly close to the parent. One of the downsides of all the close, conscientious, anxious, guilt-ridden parenting that we've been doing for the past 4 decades is that sometimes our adult children get too much of us and don't know any other way to feel separate than to just completely push us away. Lose your parent, find yourself kind of a thing. I always encourage parents to think about, what is your adult child trying to master in their estrangement? Typically, that's in the mix for them. So what are they trying to do? Are they trying to feel more assertive, more in charge of their life, that they can push back, that in some ways, particularly if the kid has much more psychological issues, blaming the parent may be a good defense against their own feelings of shame and defectiveness? Kind of like, well, if you hadn't done X, Y, or Z, my life would be in a radically different place at this point. It's not very hard to find a therapist who will support that view, even though it may actually not be true. A child might become estranged because of parental alienation, where after a divorce, one parent poisons the child against the other parent. Sadly common and sadly effective. It could be because the the adult child marries somebody who doesn't like the parents, or vice versa, and the adult child's spouses choose them or me. You can't have both. So as you can see, there are a number of different reasons why somebody might become estranged, and that's why a one-size-fits-all approach to this problem really isn't the right way to approach it.